Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/am I the asshole, where OP thinks that he might actually have an affair baby. Let's begin. Many years later, I found out I may have a daughter. Posted by Reddit user DarkLord734310.
Back in 2004, I was coming out of school and got a job in this company. It's a big company where I live. They recruit people that has just finished school. It's a good deal for them as they don't have to pay substantial salaries, and for us, it's a good opportunity to start gaining experience. You're assigned to a senior dev which will guide you, give you tasks, and their goal is to put you up to speed. Here's when I met Tina, my mentor, coach, and boss. She is 8 years older than me. I enjoyed working with her because I did learn a lot, but I didn't last in that company because I could find a better job closer to home, but we kept in touch not only with her, but with the rest of the teammates too. Without going into too much detail, I developed a crush on her and let it grow so much. Because we kept in touch, I saw her quite often, and eventually I made a move, and after some doubts on her side, we started a romantic relationship in secret. I'm now 39 and looking back, I feel too much guilt because I was fully aware that she was already married and had a 2-year-old daughter. The husband, a very successful chap but absent for longer periods because of work. Our relationship lasted for about 7 months. We met every time we could, which was sometimes difficult because the babysitter was not always available or because her husband was in town. Back then, those were the happiest months of my life. Our affair came to an end when her husband landed a job in another state and the family was going to move with him. It was so abrupt, I could only speak to her on the phone in those last weeks and could not say goodbye in person. After that I lost track of her, I didn't have her new number and no way to get in touch, and she never connected again on Messenger. And for what I could hear, also my former teammates didn't know how to contact her. Fast forward to 2018, I start looking for old acquaintances on Facebook. I didn't have an account, and I created one mostly because my wife wanted me to, so I can see the photos of my kids that she uploads. I know I'm an idiot to say the least, but I searched Tina, but didn't find her at first, but then I found her because she's using her husband's last name, even though that's not customary in our country. I sent her an invite and she accepted. I sent her a message sending her my regards, hoping that she's fine, and a few days later, she replied that she is and hopes that I'm well too. I honestly don't pretend to have anything weird with her. To me, our relationship was something I truly loved and suffered when it ended, but it's past. I am not gonna risk my marriage for an old love. What freaked me out is that while browsing her photos, I realized that she had a second daughter who looks a lot like me. I know I'm not imagining things because I asked a coworker whether she believed that that girl looks like me, and she said we're almost identical. If it's not a coincidence and this girl happens to be my daughter, I am very surprised that Tina accepted my invite in the first place. If I were her and was hiding the fact that I had another man's child, I would never friend him on Facebook, given the fact that anyone can see his profile picture and probably make a connection. I've changed my profile picture, by the way. I don't know what to think, I feel very strange and sad. I feel a lot of guilt, and I now regret my affair with Tina. I feel more guilt when I play with my 2 kids. My wife has started to notice my mood, and I just keep saying that things are not going well at work and that I'm mostly stressed about it. I don't know for how long I'll be keeping that version.
OP, since she accepted your friend request, she may have wanted you to find out. There is nothing you can do without hurting her husband. Just be prepared that this child may be at your doorstep one day. And if you can't get it together, then tell your wife because she needs to be prepared for that knock at your door. There's a good chance that the simp husband knows and they managed to move past it for some reason. If she doesn't have anything to hide, then that would explain why she was okay with accepting your friend request. Just saying, it's a possibility. By the way, you willingly got into a relationship with a married woman. You're a fucking asshole. Now, for today's second story. Am I the asshole for moving to my father's house after he's been cheating on my mom for years? Posted by Reddit user embarrassedad4989.
This sounds bad, but let me explain. My parents are separated and not divorced. This is in order for my dad to be able to see us on a flexible schedule. Recently, high school and my social life have been tough. I moved into a new school, and the daily process is a struggle. I have to go on the bus to the school, then when I get out, I have to wait 40 minutes for the bus to come back, and it's extremely hot out there. Then once the bus arrives, it's another 40 minutes till I get home. This is besides all the problems of public transportation. On top of that, all my close friends are in a different school and are far away from where I live. This is where my parents come in. My mom lives far away from my friends and the schools, meanwhile my dad lives in the city. If I moved to my dad's house, I could see them more often and get to and from school much easier. When I suggested it to my mom, she told me why our dad had left. My mom had found out he was cheating and confronted him. He called my mom a liar and tons of nasty names. He said he would stay for 2 more weeks and then leave. I wasn't aware of this until after I suggested moving to my dad's house. My mom has no relatives near her and she's quite lonely most of the time. But I'm also lonely here and it's killing me. And it's not like I am abandoning her, she lives only 15 minutes away, 1 hour by bus, which is why I don't see my friends often. So, am I the asshole for moving to my dad's house after what he did to my mom and her current situation?
OP, you're not the asshole. Your mom is basically telling you to choose a side, hers or your dad's, rather than focusing on what is best for you. The reason they split has nothing to do with you. Your mom is way in the wrong to try and drag you into this. Your reasons for moving are sound and make complete sense. I mean, it doesn't even say that your dad was actually cheating on her, just that your mom thought that he was, and maybe the accusations ended up driving your dad away. Now for today's third story. Am I the asshole for siding with my friend after he cheated on his wife? Posted by Reddit user throwaway account 717008. Okay, I can already answer this. Yes, you're the asshole. But anyways, let's find out the rest of the story.
My friend and his wife have been married for 3 years and have 2 small babies. Recently, another woman reached out to his wife to tell her that a few years back while they were living in separate states, he was in the military, they slept together. This has caused a great deal of havoc to their marriage and things have been super tense. However, the wife has been extremely toxic lately, and although I understand she is hurt, she is taking advantage of this situation to get her way on everything. Most recently, she basically guilt-tripped my friend into buying an expensive cat because in her words, she deserves it. They already have 5 other cats and 2 small babies, and not a lot of economic resources to add another expensive cat into the mix. My buddy agreed as a way to keep the peace. He's trying to save his marriage, but at what cost? She's doing whatever she wants, leaving him the kids to go out late, making him do extra work around the house, even though he works a very physical job, and now the whole cat situation. I told my wife the situation and how I think she's being unreasonable, but my wife says that his wife is probably very hurt and isn't dealing well with all the emotions that come from finding out he cheated. As I said, I can empathize, but this is no excuse to treat my friend like dirt. There's a healthy and unhealthy way to deal with the situation, and she's choosing the unhealthy way to go about it and causing more damage. My wife is now mad at me. She said she will take the wife's side on everything and support her in whatever she needs. He's the one that messed up after all, and he needs to deal with the consequences of his actions. She says he should give her whatever she wants. But where do you even draw the line? When will he stop paying for a mistake from years ago? This has now created a rift between me and my wife, but I don't think I'm being the asshole here for taking my friend's side. Look, I know what he did was awful, but 2 wrongs don't make a right, and she's just being spiteful and selfish, getting her way in everything she wants, and guilting him into big decisions that will only hurt their family even more.
My dude, it is fair that she's treating him like dirt. He fucking cheated on her, man. If I'm being honest, I think he's getting away with it far too easily. If I was his wife, I would report him to his superiors and drag his ass to court and drain him of everything he owns. You're right, the wife is not reacting appropriately because the marriage is clearly long dead. She should just divorce him. But your friend is the one responsible for killing it, and now he has to face the consequences of his dumb actions. Look, I can understand helping him out if he needs a place to stay or something, but don't take his side, man, come on. He's absolutely the one in the wrong, and just like him, you're a giant asshole too. Now for today's 4th story. Am I the asshole for telling my dad, aunts and uncles to grow up and get over their mom's affair? Posted by Reddit user Fancy Winter 2122.
My grandma and I get along really well, she is amazing, I love her and look up to her, that's why my perspective can be biased and need some points of views to know if I fed up. Grandma had 5 children, my dad 43, my uncle T 42, my uncle M 35, my aunt F 47, and my aunt S 30, with grandpa. Grandpa was a terrible father and a garbage husband, an alcoholic who spent all his money on liquor, never supported grandma. While she worked her ass to provide for her kids as a baker, she got tired of it and kicked him out in the 90s. She stayed as single mom and only provider. Did he pay child support? No. Did he help her buy a house for his kids? No. Did he ask for custody or try to spend time with his kids? No. He only visited once in a blue moon. Grandma and grandpa never divorced since my grandma didn't believe in it, and she was always a single mother. My grandma started dating William 2 years ago, but she didn't introduce him to her kids because she was afraid of their reaction. And I was the only one who knew about the so-called affair. Grandma announced that she was moving to William's house this past July, and everyone was furious and started accusing her of cheating, and that she was choosing her affair partner over her own kids. She was even hesitant about moving in with William, but I encouraged her because he makes her happy and he is a nice man. It's been almost 2 months and they refuse to talk to her or have low contact with her, and that is hurting her. She asked my grandpa for a divorce and he got mad at her and accused her of cheating. They were talking shit about her, they six at a family dinner, thus I told them to grow up and stop acting like kids, since they are not. I told them that they should be happy about their mom's happiness because that woman dedicated her life to make life easier for them. And it's so unfair that they shit on her while praising my grandpa, who had girlfriends by the way. They all called me the asshole for not taking their feelings into consideration, and they say that something doesn't feel right about their mom dating at this age. They accuse her of cheating, but that isn't cheating. They haven't been together for around 25 years. My grandpa had couple of girlfriends, yes, they were mad at him too, but it's time to grow up. Am I the asshole for telling them to grow up? I think they need to understand that their parents aren't getting back together in case they have a hope, and that grandma has a right to be happy. I mean, she did her job already without any help.
OP, they're separated by over 2 decades. Unfortunately, your grandma will have to divorce your grandfather if she wants to have a marriage between her and William recognized under state and federal laws. It's not an affair since they've been separated for 25 fucking years. Good God. Not believing in divorce? That's just batshit crazy. And a bunch of middle-aged people believing their parents are still meaningfully together? That's even more so. You're right, OP. They need to stop acting like teenagers and grow the fuck up. It's time to let their mother be happy with her life. You're not the asshole, by the way. And now, for today's final story. Am I the asshole for telling my ex-best friend that he caused his divorce? Posted by Reddit user ThrowRA, my BF is an idiot.
I recently got into an argument with my now ex-best friend, let's call him Ben, who ended up divorced after he fucked up his marriage, and I didn't support him as a friend should. Basically, he forced his wife, let's call her Gwen, who I am also friends with, into an open relationship. I warned Ben this wasn't gonna end the way he wanted. I had to comfort her about this, because I'll be honest, I love her, but she tends to let people walk all over her. I helped her through it and convinced her to just take advantage of the situation because she was going to find someone better, and my idiot best friend would try and close it the moment she realized her worth to trust me. He just wanted to cheat. Well, 6 months later, Ben comes complaining that his wife won't close the relationship and has been seeing this guy Martin for 4 months, and how he stopped seeing other women and has tried to give her more attention so she'll dump Martin. But she won't, and asked me if I could talk some sense into her so he could close their relationship. I just deadpanned, looked at him and said he was an idiot who wanted his cake and eat it too, and now he had to face the consequences of his actions, and I warned him this would happen. He called me a witch and left. Well, it's been 3 months and Gwen filed for divorce. They don't have kids and had a prenuptial, so it went easy. Ben was complaining to me again, and I told him he now has what he wanted, the freedom to sleep around. He got mad at me for rubbing his face in his divorce and told me not to contact him, that all women are alike. I myself don't see myself as an asshole, but some of our friends are saying I shouldn't be rubbing it in his face and being smug about it. So am I the asshole for telling him the truth about how this was going to end?
OP, you're not the asshole. And I believe that Ben has experienced the literal definition of fuck around and find out. OP, you 100% did the right thing here. Your actions got Gwen out of a really terrible relationship. Ben sounds like a sociopathic idiot, to be honest. I wouldn't cry over his loss. In fact, I would just fucking laugh at his face. But it does make me wonder though, what was so great about Ben that you were his best friend? How did you miss all of his glaring flaws after all of these years, OP? You got me curious there. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my YouTube channel for you to watch absolutely free. So consider clicking that super thanks just below the video title, or you can use my PayPal in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, make sure to subscribe to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.